language we are going to read is the Python, right? The very basic functionality. And if we go for defining this language, right? So it is an interpreted language, right, which is very easy to learn. It is having a very simple syntax, right? In syntax, I'll be giving you some PPTs on this Python. You can go through it, right? And meanwhile, there is no such type declarations or like it is an interpreter. So when we say that this is an interpreter, it is not completely we call it as interpreter. What the behind fact is like, first this codes what you write in the Python will be compiled. Okay, first these are compiled and then they are interpreted. All right. But whenever you go and this you surf or browse for the things, like what is Python? Python is an interpreted language, that is, and it is obviously an interpreted language. But the behind fact is that first it is compiled and then being interpreted. All right. So we'll just start up. Okay, not wasting much more time. We'll see today till the while loops, as I said, right? So our topic would be for today. We'll be covering up what is the basic things in the Python, right? Very basic arithmetic operators and all. Then we'll see about the comparison operators, the relational operators, and some math modules and all those quite good things you will see. Okay, and then we'll see some string methods, some conditionals, right? About the if and else and all, how to work with that, and then we'll see about the concatenation and some more on the string, right? Something more on the string. Cool. Let's just start it, right? So whenever coming, okay, let me first write this as you are data science and 10, and this is 28, sorry, 21, 8, 20. So when we come in any programming language, first of all is to try to understand how many features it is having, right? The features. And when you talk about the Python, there are a lot of libraries, there are a lot of frameworks, there is a very big community to help in this one, right? And a lot of things are there, right? We'll go one by one exploring of the things. So the very first topic is keywords. Now, what are keywords? When we come in any language, learning in any language, you have to learn about the keywords. Keywords are some reserved names, okay, which have their own functionalities and are already present inside the Python, right? Any programming language, it is already present there, right? So that is why you should not use the keywords, right? Why you should not use keywords as your variables or as your file name, right? This is the reason because these keywords are having its own functionality, and if you use the same name for the variable or for the file name, it will like create a problem for you, right? When you let's say you have a keyword name as and, when we are making any Python program such as and.py, that will actually clash the things, right? Why? Because your program is and.py and similarly there is a keyword dot and.py, so that will just crash on, and the computer will just then go in a confusion like which to choose, right? That is why. So keywords are some reserved names in this Python, right? So these keywords to have some specific functionalities. These are used in various purpose, right? When you use some statements, when you use some conditions, when you use some codes, these are used up there, right? So how many keywords are there? So that is help of keywords. Everyone can see the screen, right? Anyone having any problem? Cool. I believe everyone is fine with the screen. Okay, so help of keywords will give you all the keywords inside this, right? So we are using Anaconda Navigator and Jupyter itself, right? If it is not compatible with a like any of you, so you can go to Google Colab. You can open this Google Colab. You can open this one. No need of installing anything, right? Just create a new notebook. Uh, just wait for a moment. We'll start up. Loading. Okay, so let it load there. right? We're coming up to our own topic. So these are the list of keywords you're having inside your Python. Okay. Well, we'll go up quickly. Okay. So like starting from false until the not, right? So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9, 4, 36 minus 1, 35. Okay, 35 keywords are there is present in front of you. And you can even, if you have it here, let us change the run type to TPU. This is don't omit the cell. Now, let's say again I'm going and writing for this help of keywords. Well, we'll run this and just wait some time. Okay, it is connecting now. So where it is connecting, you can see it's in the Google backend for TPU, Tensor Processing Unit, the world's fastest processing unit. Cool, we got this there, right? So you can use even this Google Colab if you have any difficulty in downloading or like installing any of the IDEs and all, right? You can use that. Okay, I'm not going to use this. I'm going in the Jupyter myself, right? You can go up there. So first is very important, that is keywords. Now coming up to the things, right? How many? The very first beginning is what are variables? When I said that keywords cannot be used as variables, so what is a variable particularly? So variables are the names or the characters or the letters or whatever you write to store some values, right? Whatever the names you write up which have some specific memory locations to store up some values. So let's say you have written X, let's say you have written A, S, D, anything, right? So let's say this is X and I'm writing it's welcome to X, right? And I'm saying this is my variable, this is X, that's it, run this. So what I have said that this is X, which is holding, right? What is the memory location of this X? Okay, this is sorry, this is small x. So this is a like location, right? Address. Now, what is this welcome to thieves right there? That is actually a value, right? That is actually a value which is stored in X. Now, whenever you go and whenever you print your X, what you'll see? You'll see the value there. Cool. Now what is my variable? Now my variable is holding the value of X, right? What is the value of X? Welcome to Thieves. Now what is the value of my variable? This is X. Now what is the value of X? That is this. So ultimately the value of X is equals to my variable. If you see your my variable, so it will be welcome to Thieves, right? We just go and print this. So for printing, you can use Shift plus Enter, or you can use this run method to run this there, and your cell will be run, right? So this is like, so that is containing of the thing. So X is containing this, and my variable is containing X, which is ultimately containing this. That's very easy. So this is a variable. Now coming up to the next thing, that is the numbers, right? In Python, numbers are of three kinds. One is integer, one is float, and another is complex. That's the three kinds, right? So I call it Pn, that is Python numbers. Let it be for you. Let's just make it the pnum, right? I think you could get it. So these are of three kinds, right? We are having integer, float, and complex. Now, what is integer, right? So integers are all the numbers which are whole, right? That is whole numbers basically. So whole numbers, and those are integers. Or else you can consider as that numbers, all the positive numbers and the negative numbers, which do not have any decimals or do not have any fractional values, are called as integers, right? Let's say x and y there are, and like writing 656 minus 45 point, sorry, 40, minus 45, that's it, right? So these are integers, right? So for checking the type, whether this is an integer or a float or a string or any kind of data type, right? So for checking the data types, we'll be writing up type of x or the type of y. What are this? So both are integer, right? You can even define c equals 0, and you can check the type of c. So number without a decimal point or a decimal is basically a integer. Now this is very you can say transverse for the float. For the float, it is opposite, right? So all the numbers, all the positive and the negative numbers having a decimal with them is a float, right? So that could be a comma p. Let's say it's 5.7 comma minus 9.90.3. That's it, right? So if we just see the type of a and b, so type of a, okay, this is small b.
Hello, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, in in Jupyter notebook, there is one option run. But if we use Google Colab, in that case, what should we
Shift
do
plus
to
run.
run that?
Shift plus enter.
Shift plus enter.
Yeah, shift plus enter, or else you can just press this one. It will run this yourself.
Okay, okay.
Okay. All right. So this is float now. Now when I say that there are three kinds, so two I think is clear to you, right? That is one is without decimal, that is an integer. With decimal, it is a float. Very nice. Now the third comes as a complex numbers. So complex numbers are a combination of a real and an imaginary part. The real numbers, the real part, and the imaginary part. Now this there you I think in the class 11 we also had a chapter of complex numbers. Yeah, so there was right. So there we read about this iota and all those things, right? We'll be going up in the data science with those, right? We'll be going up with a library called as SIMPy, right? So let's say from SIMPy import. I think it's just hold for a minute. Someone has came. Yeah. So it was like I. Sorry. It was uh, imaginary. I think imaginary. It's not defined. So let's start imaginary. Uh, cool. Will go at there. Something is problem. No issues. Okay. Well, we'll focus first on this one. Then we'll go there. So I'll give you how this iota works. Right? Okay. So first, let's see the complex type. Right. So I'm saying the complex is having a real part and also a imaginary part. Right. So let's just say that this is S and D, and the real part means that must be one number, and along with this there must be some uh, imaginary part. And imaginary in the complex in the Python is always in the form of a plus bj. All right, or x plus yj. You say there must be one j, right? So let's say this is 5j. Cool. Or without real also you can make any complex numbers, right? Now, what is the type of S complex? What is the type of D complex? So what is the real part and what is the imaginary part? So S dot real, S dot imaginary. Well, this is the real part, 32 plus 5j. Sorry, this is the original complex number. 32.0 is the real part and 5.0 is the imaginary part, right? 32.0 and 5.0. So always you'll be getting the things in the floating, right? Similarly, D dot real. So there is no real part, right? You can see up there that in the D you are only having 10j. That is only the imaginary part you'll be getting up there. So obviously the real part will be 0, 0 and the imaginary part will be 10, right? That is, I think, clear, right? So these are the three basic things inside this your inside your complex site. Next, moving up to a very nice module, right? That is a random. So this provides you basically a random number. That's it, right? It generates some random numbers for you. A very basic thing, all right? So how it does? You will have to import this random first of all. Mm, yeah. So you have to import this random, and if I say random, All right. Let's hold for a moment. Mm, random. All right. From random. Import random. Call it there. And got it. Right. So from random, we are just importing one random module, and you could see, right, when we run random. So every time you'll be seeing a new number over there. Can you see it there? Right? You can see it there, right? So every time random is something that will generate some new numbers. Now you can define on your own, right? You can define your own boundaries or ranges, you can say on, right, to give it there. Like it is representing, it is printing numbers, anything right from 0.70 and like that, right? So we don't want every time to be represented between 0 and all, right? We can give our own ranges even, right? So we'll go to see how this range works. Okay, that is important. So just giving an idea. So whenever you write a range of x, y, you'll get a numbers starting from x and it will go till y minus 1 always. This is the formula. Whenever you take a range of some numbers, let's say you have written a range of numbers, range of 40. 0 should not be there. Yeah. So it will be range of 0 to 40. That means that you will be having numbers from 0 to 39. Always one less than the last. Alright, that is how range works. Right. Now what I'm going to do is a very interesting thing, right? And that would be quite interesting. I think you might know, many of you might don't know, right? So it's very interesting fact, right? Let's just say that this is a C, that is I'm going to make a code, and I'll have to import total random, and let's just say that this is C and it is random dot int, that is random integer value. Now random integer value I want to start it from 654321, like this, right? 654321, I want to start it from there and I want to go till 987654, right? So I'll be getting, every time I'll be getting some numbers. If I just cut this, every time I'll be getting some numbers, only one particular number between these ranges, right? And you can see output even, right? You can see the outputs. That is how it will be working on. Now what I'm doing is I'm making it as equals C. Then I'm saying that I just want to print this G plus the str of C plus is your one time Google verification code. We'll run this, and this is how you get inside your mobile verifications, right? This is how you get in your mobile phones, or like in let it be for Facebook or Instagram or any kind of thing. This is what random is being used, right? That is the power of random. It's like used in various places. Let it be for bank working, let it be for an ATM working, let it be for any e-commerce website working, let it be for the OTPs coming inside there, or let it be for like in the game sections, right? You go for guessing the numbers, let it be for that or anything, right? Random is being used very widely, right? That is the random thing. All right. So every time you will run this, you'll get a new code, that is a Google code there, and this is how it's being stored up, right? So how can you generate a lot of Google codes inside just within a seconds of time, right? How can you generate those things? We'll be seeing up there, right? That is exactly all about the data, and we'll be learning it, right? Cool. So like this, right? Similarly, what you can do is you can just print as right. Let's say C, right? So let's say C or like str. Why we are using str? I'll let you know, right? So let it be is your one time, all right? Facebook password reset code. I think there is no use for str here. It will work, I think. So this is your Facebook password reset code. Like this you get there, right? Let it be any website or kind of thing. When you get OTPs, it's always like this. and you are asked only to enter this part, right? If you see the other things. So, all right, moving ahead. So this is random. Now, what is the story behind this str and all? Or what is the logic behind this str? Str is nothing but a different data type that is a string, right? Now, string are all the characters, all the letters, even everything what you enclose inside a single quote or a double quote. That's it. Those are called as a string. All right. So let's say you are writing x equals str. That is string. So type of x will be a string, right? Or let's say you have written y equals str. Type of y, string, right? So anytime, anything when you apply or when you enclose, when you keep these things inside the double brackets and single brackets, that is always a string. It's clear, right? Now, what I use this str is basically I was converting this type when I see the type of C, right? When I just see the type of C now, what is the type of C? That would be an integer. So what you are getting up there is this is random integer, right? So you are getting an integer and you are converting this in a string. Now, what is this process called as? This is called as type conversion, right? When you convert things, when you convert data types to another data type. Let's say there is 45, which is an integer. I want the float value of this 45. That will be a float. What is this 45.2? This is a float. I want an integer value of this. So integer. What is this 567? I want an str of this. Right. This is 23. I want a complex of this. Right? Got it. So just run this. You can see for float of 45 is 45 is 45.0. Integer of 45.2 is 45. str of 467 is 567 itself. The complex of 23 is 23 plus 0j. I hope this is clear, right? Now, this is called as type conversion. Now, there are two kind of type conversion. Basically, if we just go for the basic things are there, right? So, one is implicit type conversion. The second is the explicit type conversion, right? And that is very easy actually. As the name suggests, implicit is something which is got automatically done. Explicit is like what you enforce to do. That is simple, right? Let's say you are taking an integer and you are taking a float and you're adding up, you'll get the values inside the float. So that is an implicit function. That is an implicit change in the data type, right? Because it happens automatically. We don't change anything. We haven't changed anything. Like we haven't said that we want an integer like kind of thing, right? But when I say this 3 and 3.0 and enclose this in some parameters, right? Let's say I want only the integer now. So I am enforcing it to come inside the integer, right? That is an explicit type when you are changing the things. So by default it is getting to the float and you are changing it in integer. That is a change, right? Cool. Moving ahead. So this is all about the numbers, the change and all, right? Cool. Now why I use the str is like, let's say this is an integer and you are going to print it with a string. It is not possible. Alright, it is not possible to add any data type with another data type printing up with the plus symbol, the plus operator. It is not possible. You can print it by giving a comma, that is okay, but you can't write it with a plus. That is not possible. So instead of doing this, instead of writing this plus, what you can do is, like if you want, so when you are using plus, make sure that all the data types are saved there, right? Okay. So when you are not using plus, you can give commas there. That will work. That is how it will work, right? Got it. So this is how it will be working up there. All right. The only difference is like if you write the same statement with a plus, only difference is that there will be very less gaps between your outcomes if you see it there clearly, right? So as you will be writing up there, you'll be getting the things. Now there is a space. If I remove the space, you'll be getting everything packed up, right? Without spaces. That is the thing, right? The difference, right? I think your video is being recorded. Yep, it's being there. All right. Cool. So any doubts still there, right? What any doubts in the Python numbers or the random things? Anyone having any doubt? Ask it.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I have a doubt. Like, you are putting the value of G here,
Mm-hmm.
G dash,
Mm-hmm.
and after that C. So, I just want to know that how it is picking the random number. Like, it can pick something else, but actually, what is working behind it?
All right. Cool. So I didn't get exactly what you're asking, but still, I'll make you to try to understand. See, this G is nothing but a kind of anything what I'm writing up there. This can
Yeah.
be any
No, no, no.
sample.
Sir, yeah, I am asking like G875857, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I am just asking this number. How Google is speaking it? Like how the programming language is speaking it?
All right,
Uh,
got it. Okay, so see, with this program, right, here I have taken a random number, right, and then from the random module, as I said, random will take some random numbers, and when you give your own ranges or when you give your own boundaries, you'll be getting numbers between them. So I have given 65432 1 and 987654, right? So you will be every time you'll be getting some new numbers, or it may have you could get some common numbers. Let me just give you an example, just a common one. Let's say this is an x. Okay, we'll be going through it, don't worry. This is an empty list for now, and I'm saying for x in I. Okay, just wait 1 minute. Oh, so let's say this time I'm giving for a range of 1000, right? I want to say that y will be equals to random dot random of 1 2 3 4 5 6 2 9 8 7 6 5 4, something like that, right? And x dot append this y, that's it. Just change it to be I. This will work. Done it, I think. Yeah, done. So what is the length of all the characters inside this x? What is the length total elements present inside the x? That is 1000. That is nice, right? Now if you see your x, all right, if you see your x, what you can see, 1000 numbers over there generated within very seconds of time, right?
yes.
And now what we can do is the interesting fact that is very easy, that we can write as g plus the str of y. That's it. Run this and you can see the change. I think you got it, right?
Yes, sir.
So only adding a g with those numbers, that's it.
Okay.
Nothing
So,
else.
sir, in Python,
Mm-hmm.
to import any function, we need to write the command import import this, right?
Yeah. So when you are importing any package or a module, you have to define like you are going to
Like
import this.
like like in our side, packages are already
Yeah,
inbuilt. We just need
there
to
the
install
packages
it.
are already right? Up there, right? So
Yeah.
there's something I think in the right hand side in this portion you have all those packages where you can see up there, right? In the right hand side of this area, here you have the packages there where you can see and explore other things. All right,
Yes, sir.
so just take it for the first 20, and there is like kind of. All right, let's just take it first 5. I'll let you know what are these dots and all. I think this is random clear to you, right? Okay. After this comes as, let me see, in the first assignment we are having all the, okay, yep. So going up to the operators now. Now operators are like, you can say, the backbone for any operation, right? Because you'll need an operator to complete any operation. Let it be you want to add something, you need an add operator. Without it, how you will do, right? So operators, mathematically operators or mathematic operators don't work with the string, right? So there is two terms. One is string concatenation and one is string replication. We'll study in the string when we'll go through all these things, right? The string is for tomorrow, right? Then we'll study about those things. So there is string replication and string concatenation. We'll be going up that in detail, right? Before that, let's just see all the operators, right? Not all arithmetic operators for now, right? So let's say this is arithmetic operators. Okay, so arithmetic operators are of basically 6 kinds. Like if you want to add something, use the plus operator. Want to subtract something, use multiplication. Very basic things, right? And this is for multiplication. This is for division. This is for exponentiation. That is huge, I think. 8 to the power of 2. How much it is? 64. Alright. 8 to the power of 2. 64. Right? Now, what is the value when 100 is divided by 3? What is the value when 100 is divided by 3? It's almost 23.3333x, right? There it goes, continue. Right? But when you want an integer value of this division, what you can do, you have two ways. You can apply int, you can get it there, right? But what if I don't apply int? We have another operator for this. Instead of applying int, we have an operator there, right? What you can use is, like you can write up 100 and you can use this double star 2, right? You'll be getting up, or I think it's for 3, that will be fine, right? So you can get it there, okay? Now this is like for the integer division. Now if you want the remainder when 100 is divided by 3, so you can use the modulus, and that will be giving you the remainder, right? Okay, so that is 100 divided by 3. Okay, so these are the basic 6 operators over there. That is plus, minus, division, multiplication, modulus, and the exponentiations. I think that is clear, right? Moving on now. Right, clear, right? Okay. Next is for our input functions. Now, when you want to take input from the user, what do you take? There's a function called as input. That's it. Run this, enter anything, enter. That's it. So that is an input, and you can see the input is in the quotes over there, right? That is always whenever you take any input, it is there in the string, right? So by default, the input type is always in a string. So that is very important actually, right? So whenever, let's say, you want to calculate a marks of any student on the basis of their like you want to calculate the percentage of a student on the basis of their marks. So let's say total marks is 360, right? And he obtained something around 270. So divide by 360 multiplied by 100. So 75%. Cool. Now let's just take that if I take an input and I say him to enter the marks. If I say the C is equals to input and enter the marks. So let's say I wrote 270. Will my C give me the exact result as for this? C divided by 360 multiplied by 100. What is the result? I'll get a beautiful error out there, right? That is a type error. So that is unsupported operand over there, right? Why? Because you are using this mathematics with the strings, right? And that is not exactly possible. So that can be done, right? Because C is a string, as you saw that the inputs always are a kind of a string. One second. So always the inputs are a kind of a string, right? So what you have to do is you will have to take it as an okay. So marks are always in a kind of a float, right? So we can take in a float because marks can be 36.5 or like how why to remove the zero 0.5 of a student, right? So why to take the integer? Let's just take the float itself. So float of input and then you take it 270 over there. That's nothing to that, and that is your percentage. Cool, got it. So that is how input makes a role in the types make a role in the input, right? So when you want to calculate something mathematically, you should use input, you should use eval, you should use float, right? Eval is basically used for taking the inputs of the complex numbers, and input and integer and float are very the common one. And if you don't want to go for any mathematical calculations, you can directly take this string, right? That is working well, good, right? So these are the first things to be covered up, okay? Coming up to the next one, now we are going to see some of the important modules actually, right? Now let's say that what is today's date, right? What is today's date? So it is 21st. What is today, like current month going on? So this is August, right? Year is 2020. So once, like in an interview, I was like asked by the panel members. They just asked it, "What is today's date?" I replied there, right? What is the month going on? I say that it is fine. It's July. All right. What is the year? I replied that. Okay, you have 15 seconds. Print the current month calendar of this year, right? So that is how you get the questions, right? So like it is August, right? It is August running on, right? And like if I say like you are having 15 seconds, and there you have the your PC or like whatever the respective thing you are going to use, right? You have there, and you have 50 seconds. Just print today's, or like just print current month calendar, right? It is a weird situation, right? So what you can do is, if you know of the things, that is very quite good, right? If you don't know, what you can do is like you can just print up the whole calendar, right? So let's just say this is import calendar, that's it, right? And there what you can do is, you have been asked to print a month calendar. So it's don't take a variable month and then write up the month. Don't take a variable year and then write up the year, because in that cases you don't have any time. So you don't only have to import this calendar, and very quick you only have to write this is calendar of a month, write up the year and write the month. That's it. Run this, right? So you'll be getting up the things over there. Okay, just and apply this print so that it would be a clear one, right? So this is August 2020 calendar, and this is all right. Most of the times, like students have practice of like doing what? See, like this. Well, students have a practice of what is a month. Month will be input of a person, right? Whatever he will going to give, year will be the input of the person. And even if the student is not taking the input function, what he'll do, month is equals to 8, year is equals to 2020, and then he is going to run up, right? So 15 seconds will be gone, right? Here just declaring the month and the year. When you will be writing up the next third statement of for this one month and the year, right? So like it is very easy, right? You first import the module, and then from that module you bring the month, right? And write the particular year you want and the particular month serial number, right? That is for like 8 for the August, right? That is clear, right? So this is how, even if you are getting 30 seconds, still it also works on the basis of your RAM and all the things of your hard drive, right? That is, if your GB is less, right? Let it be a 2 GB or a 4 GB, right? So in 4 GB it could like take some time to bring that module inside the program, right? So it have to be very quick, and that is like to make all the syntax very clear in the mind. Now let's say you have been asked to print a calendar of after 20 years. What is the calendar of after 20 years? What should be the calendar? It's very cool. So print a whole year calendar you have been asked. So from the calendar, just print up the calendar of after 20 years. It will be 2040. Run this. That's it. Done. Why to go and take inputs and making a variable and declaring things over there? If the things can be done within one line, why to go for all this, right? So we are not a student of psychology and all those things that we have to go for writing up the things, right? It's all about this time, just shortening the time and running up our programs. So like if this is a calendar of 2040, if we, yeah, will be alive up till there, right? So 2040 will be alive. We can see other things, right? Today it's 21, and in 2040 it will be Tuesday. So what is today's day? I think Friday. Cool. Like one of the module, right? Now let's say, like you see in the Google, right? When you go up for in the Google for making it, like you want to convert some kilometers to meters or from centimeters to meter, like kind of thing, right? You have the radius and you want to see the area. You can make your own programs related to that, isn't it, right? So let's just say there is a function, there is a module of math, a very important module actually. So you want to calculate area, right? So this ask the user, yep, bro, come there and just say what is the radius you want. So radius can be in the float. Just ask him, yes, you just say enter the radius. Ask him the radius. And whatever the radius he gives, just print him. The area will be equal will be equals to, give a comma, right? So this will be printed first, that is area, right? So area is equals to, now what will be the area? What is the area of a circle? Pi r square, right? So what is the value of pi? That is why we have imported math. So we'll only have to write math dot pi. That's it. It will take the value of pi. We don't have to write anything else. So pi r square, that is pi multiplied by r, and that square. So we'll run this. So my radius is 2.5 and my area is 19.63 and something there, right? How much time it took, right? So that is how fast and how cool Python is. Right? You can take the area, you can find the square root. Now students again have doubt. So for finding the square root, how to take under root there? So you make a beautiful concept over there. What is under root? 1 by 2, right? Under root is 1 by 2 exactly. And what is 1 by 2? 0.5. So just multiply it by 0.5, that's it. Go for power of a 0.5, 0.5. That will be giving you the square root, that is, right? Why to go for finding up the method for making a square root there? Basic function, right? Cool. Moving up. What is being left over there? Yeah. So, where's yeah? So let's say there's a string, there's a name, or let's just take it. There's a Taj Mahal, right? And I'm going to print Taj Mahal for 5 times. What I can do is multiply it by 5. That's it. Run there. So Taj Mahal will be printed for 5 times. Now, can you see there's Taj in the starting, there's Mahal in the last, and meanwhile you are having Mahal Taj, Mahal Taj, Mahal Taj for 3 times, right? That is why, because it is being replicated, right? So this is particularly called as string replication. When you apply mathematics with the string, that is a string replication. Just give some dots over there. This like just give some of the this will work fine now. So you're having Taj Mahal, Taj Mahal, right there, right? You can even make it more interesting like this. That would work much more well. See, Taj Mahal, right? So this is a basic replication method, right? Now let's say this is body, right? And you want to add 12 to it. Incorrect way, what you can do is you can use this as string, and that will be done. Actually, on this basis, there was a very silly question asked. Actually, it gives as A is equals to 100, B is equals to 80, and C is equals to 90. It was like this, right? A very basic thing there, and it was supposed to bring the output of 1008090. That was asked to bring the output of this. So, like, if students apply the very basic thing, what the student apply, sir, A plus B plus C will give the output. So that is not correct. That will give you 270. So again, students say, sir, print A, B, and C. That was a good logic of students. Sir, print A, and then print then B, and then C. So it is 1008090. But my dear friends, this will be always attached to it, exactly as how this is coming up there, right? Not like this. One student did a very good job. What he said, sir, 100, and like he took it like, sir, take 100 and take 800 and take 900 and just print it. So we have done it. So that is not a good one, right? You have to use A, B, and C. What you can use is that you can use the STR method, or even what he tried is actually correct. But in place of 100 and all these things, he must have used the str function. So if I use the str of A, or I use the str of B, and plus I use this str of C, so output will be quite same. Okay, we are getting some things. Let's just remove that, and this is the output, expected output, right? 1008090. So there are a lot of things, right? Should have practice. Like the students who are very well at Python, still they let behind on these very basic things. All right. So coming up to I think this assignment one part is over. So you can complete assignment one very nicely. Okay. That coming up to the assignment two, Boolean operators, tables. Cool. That's nice. All right. Now coming up to the Boolean operators. It's time. Okay, have 10-15 minutes more. Uh, Boolean operators. Okay. Sorry, not Boolean. Let's just see first the comparison operators. So comparison operators is like name is giving you an idea, right? That is, you are going to compare something. You are going to compare some variables, compare some values, right? Let's say I am checking whether 3 is greater or 4 is greater. Right? Obviously 3 is lesser. So 3 is greater than 4. That's a wrong statement. So the outcome will be a Boolean value, categorical value, discrete value. Outcome will be always in the true or in the false. That's it, right? Correct statement true, wrong statement false. That's it. This is a false statement. All right, one second. Full brightness.
Okay, this is as bright.
All right. So this is 3 greater than 4 and you're getting it false, right? Now let's just say that if I'm saying 4 is less than 3, and this is again a false statement. I just write 3 greater than 4, 4 greater than 3. So that is true statement, right? Basic up. Like a greater than and less than things. 5 less than 90, obviously. Now, if we want to check, now when we are assigning up the things, we are taking x equals to 6, that is fine, right? We are assigning the value up there. But we want to see whether this x is really equals to 6 or not. So in that case, if you want to check anything, right, if it is equal or not, you can use double equals. So it is correct, right? X is equals to 2. But when I say that x is not equals to, when you say that if it's not equals, you will be making an exclamatory mark and the equal sign, right? So if it is not equals to 10, that is also correct because x is not equals to 10. X is equals to 6, right? When you say x is equals to 10, that will be a wrong statement, right? So you should have said it as x is not equals to 10. That is a true statement, right? Got it. Similarly, if you say 20 is or x is less than or equals to 10. Now, even if, okay, I think, let's say it to be 6. So we have passed on two parameters, right? That is, x is greater than 6. So first we'll go for checking x is greater than 6. And we got there, no, it is false, right? And then we checked x is equals to 6. Yeah, it is true. So false and true is going to give you a true result, right? That is a state of an OR. Always you'll be getting a true result. We'll be going to understand these things, right? Okay. So these are the common operators you are having, and similarly you are having x is less than equals to 20. So here what happens, even if one condition is true or even if one statement is true, you'll be getting a true result. Any of the statement is not correct, you'll be getting false. That's very basic thing. Alright. So you guys like don't consider this class as like a boarding class or like a school class or any such class, right? It will be going a fun over there, right? So today is the first class, right? I'm here going, although we are going with the basics. So that will be, I'll be speaking up today, right? So from tomorrow it will be like a two-way communication, right? I'll be asking you the questions, you'll be answering up there. That is how you'll be going to learn about the data science. Otherwise, it will be a kind of lecture science, right? That is not needed up there. All right. So these are the comparison operators. How you compare other things, right? This is all about. Let's see next things. Comparison, difference between, find the calendar. You'll be able to guide. Except two strings and AD equals done. Second is done. Third, input of a variable, number, string, ASCII codes, convert all times, calculate the sum of numbers. All right. And now, As I see it for you, the math module. Now, if you want to find a square root of any number, what I said, even if you don't have the logic for finding the square root, what you do is square root is basically under root of something, right? And what is under root? 1 by 2 to the power of something to the 1 by 2, right? X to the power of 1 by 2 is exactly the square root of x. Now, if x is equals to 6, what will be the under root of x? 2.44. If it's 64, what is the under root of 64? Oh shit, this will be double.
Sir, exponential half.
Yeah?
Exponential half we can use.
Yeah, exponential. So to the power of half or to the power of 0.5, that will be giving you the under root or like square root. And apart from this, if you are using math module, you can directly write as maths.sqrt. Sorry, this is sqrt. What is this coming up there? And of 64. Well, 8.0 result. That's cool. Nice. So math module gives a lot of thing to work, right? That goes basically in the basic Python functionalities. Okay, fine. So this is all how you do up the things, right? And how you use up the strings and all. Now I think that this is a common problem of, okay, here you also have conditions. So for this, all right. Now coming up to the conditions. Now what are conditions? Cool. What are conditions? Now conditions are such a state where your machine, where even we go on a confusing state, right? That is whether to go on this side, whether to go on that side. Similarly, in Python, you have three sides: if, elif, and else. If you find that the if statement is correct, just go on that path. If you find that if it is wrong, if statement is wrong, so keep it behind there and search whether else statement is correct or elif is correct. So if you find that elif is very good, right? Always go in the else at last, right? First check if and elif. If it is there, the priority should be always if. So first check if, and if it is correct, if you are satisfied with if, just go with that. If you are not satisfied with if, go with elif. If it is there, if elif is not there, then you only have one chance. You have to go with else, right? So these are the three cases. All right. So how these things are made up, right? So let's say x is equals to 5. I know x is equals to 5. And I'm saying if my x is equals to 5, I'm going to print true. Right? And else, that's it. It's very basic I'm writing. So if it is not equals to 5, then obviously it will be false. That's it. So I'm getting result true. Why? Because my x is equals to 5. Let's say this is x equals, I'm taking x is equals to 10. That is a wrong statement. Because x is not equals to 10. X is equals to 5. Right? Apart from here, like if you say elif, x is equals 5. Print true. True. Now what happened? You first check whether x is equals 10. That is a wrong path. So not to go in that side. Then you took like, okay, we have another state, right? Elif x is equals 5. And that is correct exactly. So we'll just quickly go up here, right? We don't need to bother about this, what is written inside this else. So we don't have to go for the else, right? We can just quickly go to elif and then we can run up the things, right? Similarly, we just say that this is your name and there's something giving up the input, right? Let's take enter up your name. Enter up your name over there, right? Just take it there, right? And what will say that if the name is equals to any sample name over there, SAMPLE. So if it is equals to that, then print okay, otherwise just let's go in there, right? So we can take it like else and we can write it let to be no, that's it, right? So well, just write it as SUMIT, right? I'm writing out my name. So that is no, right? Because this is not equals to sample. Now if I just write up there SAMPLE, and run this. Okay, that's cool, right? So this is how it runs exactly, if and else. Now I'm giving a very interesting fact to you. I'll go with this in brief tomorrow, right? That is exactly the interface of making up user IDs. How? Let's say, okay, user ID will be going up tomorrow, right? So today we are going. Let's just say you have a file, right? So let's say this is extension. You have some lot of extensions, PNG. You have JPG. You have JPEG. You have SVG. You have what is being left? Bit JPG, JPEG, SVG, PNG, GIF. So I remember this much for extension of a image, right? Now we'll take a file name from a user, right? And then we are going to split it in some dots. I'll give you why we are doing this one, right? So what is going to be done here? I'll brief you first. Just let it start there. No. Don't go with this. Okay, just I'm giving you the example. Okay, you'll not be able to understand. If you are good at Python, you can even if you know the basics of thing. So for the newcomers to the Python, I'll brief you this tomorrow, right? So let's say this is split, okay, and now I'll see my name, if the length of this f name is greater than equals to 2. If it is equals to 2 or greater than equals to 2, then I'm going to search for an extension, and that will be f name of 0, sorry, minus 1 dot the lower. Now what are these things? Actually it will just go up like a bouncer if you don't know the Python basics. So f1 minus 1 dot lower, right? And what to do, yeah. So f name extension. Now again some if there. So if this f name extension lies in your extension, then we'll just go up and say upload successful. And if not so, just quickly write up uploading failed. Kind of thing, right? Okay. And if the file is not being spreaded up, and that is the reverse case there you can write up failed to load file. Just give him extension error, spelling error. I got a spelling error there. Write any file name. Let's say this is book.pdf. So uploading failed. Why so? Because extension is not proper. Because PDF is not there inside my extensions. So you're only allowed to upload a file which is of PNG, JPG format or like kind of thing. So just write with only book. So failed to load file, extension error. Alright. Because there is no such extension event for this file. How will you upload this? Right? You are using PNG. Upload successful. That is things, alright. So we cover up the things with that, right? Alright. So all this for today, alright. Just go and complete the assignments. You'll have to practice a lot of things, and you can come to know with all. Okay. And I think in the fourth assignment, when you go with the your while loops, I think there must be some loops over there. Don't go with that. Okay. Leave the fourth assignment, and you can solve something from the fourth assignment, right? So you can solve some parts. You can go with that, right? I've shared you the